Welcome to LingoShift, the podcast for learning Japanese on the go. Today, we will learn how to connect adjectives and nouns to make longer, more descriptive sentences. First, let's learn how to connect two I-adjectives. To do this, you change the final G of the first adjective to kute. Let's practice a sentence. The sentence is このカバンは軽くて便利です. This means, this bag is light and convenient. Listen again. このカバンは軽くて便利です. Now you say the sentence. このカバンは軽くて便利です. Next, let's learn how to connect two not-adjectives. To do this, you add de after the first adjective. Let's practice a sentence. The sentence is 私の町は静かできれいです. This means, my town is quiet and beautiful. Listen again to the sentence. 私の町は静かできれいです. Now you say the sentence. 私の町は静かできれいです. This de is the T form of des. You can also use it to connect nouns or identities. Let's practice a sentence. The sentence is 山田さんは日本人で先生です. This means, Miss Yamada is Japanese and she is a teacher. Listen again. 山田さんは日本人で先生です. Now you say the sentence. 山田さんは日本人で先生です. Now it is time for a quick quiz. First quiz question. The I-adjectives for cheap and delicious are yasui and oishii. How do you connect them to say cheap and delicious? Take a moment to think. The answer is 安くておいしい. Second quiz question. The not adjectives for famous and lively are 有名 and 賑やか. How do you say famous and lively? Think about it. The answer is 有名で賑やか.
Excellent. Now let's learn a new question word, do, which means which. You must use it before a noun. For example, どの人, which person, or どのカバン, which bag. Let's practice a conversation. The question is, 田中さんはどの人ですか? This means, which person is Mr. Tanaka? Listen again. 田中さんはどの人ですか? Now you ask the question. 田中さんはどの人ですか? To answer, you can use our new grammar. The answer is あの背が高くて若い人です. This means he is that tall young person. Listen again to the answer. あの背が高くて若い人です. Now you say the answer. あの背が高くて若い人です. Let's do a final recap. To connect I-adjectives, change the first one to くて. To connect not adjectives or nouns, use de. The question word どの means which and must be followed by a noun. Now for our final quiz. First question. You want to ask which car is Mr. Suzuki's? How would you ask that? Take a moment to think. The answer is 鈴木さんの車はどの車ですか? Second question. Someone asks you what kind of town Nara is. You want to say it is a quiet and old town. How would you construct that sentence? Think about it carefully. The answer is 静かで古い町です. You have completed today's practice session. You can now create much more detailed and descriptive sentences in Japanese. Thanks for learning with LingoShift.
LingoShift.